So, I keep hearing and people keep coming up to me and saying, what are the Eagles doing? Why aren't they doing anything in free agency? It's too slow. We're not doing anything. What's going on? When are we going to get a running back? And you know what I think? I think the Eagles, their offseason is going exactly according to plan. They are right where they want to be. And you know what? I am so confident in that. I am so confident that they're on the right track that I'm calling out my man Shawn from the Sports Fury. Shawn, it's time for an Eagles Dallas bet round 2. Oh my God. Never again. Dallas sweeps Eagles.
Will you ever make a deal like this again?
Yes. Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, demon! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Everybody do can't think about here. So, all I can say is Dallas still stinks. Wait, rerun. I am so confident the Eagles are going to take out Dallas this year that it's time. It's time for round 2 of Eagles Cowboys bet with Shawn from the Sports Fury. Now, shout out to Shawn from the Sports Fury. Love the guy. Love the channel. Love him and Josh both. But last year, Shawn got the best of me. He got the best of me. And it was my fault. It was my fault. I proposed a bet in which if one of our two teams sweep the other, then the person who gets swept must shave their head. And of course, the Eagles got swept by Dallas. I'm not very happy about this. I really didn't like it that much. But I did it. I went through with it. I shaved my head. And as you can see, my hair is growing back beautiful because I be beautiful. But the truth is that taste of losing that bet, the taste of losing that bet has bothered me. It has bothered me since then. So while we're still way off into the distance of the season actually even starting, I want to make a bet. And I want to give Shawn plenty of time to think about this bet. But Shawn, from the Sports Fury, this is the bet I want. You and me, same bet as last year. If one of our teams sweep only. Okay. Now, if your team gets swept or my team gets swept, then we will have to not only shave our heads this time, but for you will have to go and get a Cowboys still stink engraved in your head, in your hair, for a week straight. You'll have to wear it like that. Now, after the week, you must shave your head. And for me, if the Eagles get swept again, that ain't happening. But if it did, I would have to go get an Eagle stink or Eagle suck, whatever, in my head. But I will have to wear it for 2 weeks, while you only have to wear yours for 1. Because I already lost last year, so I feel like I have to pay an extra price. Okay? So, if the Eagles sweep Dallas, then you have to go get Cowboys still stink engraved in your head. Up here, aside, I don't care where. If I lose, I gotta get it Eagles stink engraved in my head and wear it for 2 weeks, while you only have to wear yours for 1 week. And then we have to shave our head. So, Shawn from the Sports Fury, do you accept this bet? Let's get it out early because I'm confident what this team is doing this offseason. I'm confident we're ready to double moonwalk some ass. One of the things I want to talk about is where the Eagles are at right now with free agency and going into the draft. Because, when we look at what they did and the guys that we wanted, of course, none of them came. None of them came, right? Tevin Coleman, some people on the Bell, all these different names. None of them came. Okay? And when you look at the Eagles and you look at what they're doing and you look at it on paper, okay, you see Sendejo, safety, Vinny Curry, defensive end, Malik Jackson, defensive tackle. It's very easy. Ronald Darby. It's very easy to see very quickly that the Eagles have spent most of their focus in free agency on the defensive side of the ball. They did bring back Jason Peters, and they did trade for Deshaun Jackson. But other than that, there has been really nothing done on the offensive side of the ball. It's all been defense. It has all been pretty much defense. They got a linebacker, they got a safety, they got a defensive tackle, they got another defensive end. But all they really added on offense was a wide receiver. So what does this mean? Well, I think that this is clear as day indication that this is going to be a heavy offensive draft for the Eagles. I think they are going heavy offense and early heavy offense. Okay, I know a lot of people expect defensive end, defensive tackle. I don't. I expect possibly offensive lineman, running back, wide receiver. I think this is going to be a very heavy offensive draft. Now, it's not going to be straight offense. You're going to get a linebacker or two maybe in the mid rounds put in there. Maybe another secondary guy. They're going to add probably another defensive end if we're really honest about it, because they're so deep in the defensive end position. But I expect the majority of the picks this season, this draft, to be offensive. I think that is a fair assessment when you look at how much they've spent on the defense in the offseason. I mean, most of their moves are defensive. So when are they going to address offense? And it would make sense in the draft. Now, I like this for a couple reasons. The main reason is we talk about Carson Wentz. He's 26 years old. He's young. He's only 26 years old. You want to start putting pieces around him that are going to be with him for the next 5 to 10 years, okay? What better place to do that than in the draft? You bring guys in, they're a little cheaper, they're on rookie deals, and they play with him year after year after year. If you're going to fluctuate guys and move guys in and out and around and change guys on the roster, it's better to do it on the defensive side than on the offensive side, in my opinion. And with a young quarterback at 26 years old, I think this is a good move. So I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Eagles go running back, wide receiver, offensive lineman, or any one of those combinations. I still think they're going to get a wide receiver. I do. I still think so. Just because they brought Deshaun Jackson back does not mean they're not going to. I mean, he is 32 years old. You do need somebody for the future. Why not get a guy who is a lot like him and get mentor underneath him? So I think that this draft, and by the way the Eagles have operated in free agency this offseason, I think that the draft is the place where we're going to get offensive guys. And I don't mind this at all. Imagine you have a running back. You get another wide receiver. You have another offensive lineman. And they're all with Carson year after year after year. And you build that chemistry and you have that rapport. That's what you want. And so I think that, this kind of answers my question that I have about what are the Eagles going to do? Why are they getting older? They're getting older. It's all they seem to just be adding age. We need to get younger. I think that is the plan on the offensive side of the ball. And I think it's a good plan. I like this plan. So I see in the first 3 picks, I think the Eagles are going to go, and I don't know which order, but I think it'll be either offensive lineman, running back, wide receiver. It's going to be those 3 guys, I think, in the first 3 rounds. I think that defensive end, yes, there's a lot of good defensive ends in this draft. I think they can get one in the mid rounds. They may even do something. Remember, they have 2 second-round picks. Okay, you could easily get back up into the first round if they want to. If there's somebody they really like after they've drafted, don't be surprised if they jump up. Don't even be surprised at 25 if they jump way up there. I mean, they have the ammo to do it. But I think that based upon the roster, and you look at free agency, and you look at everything that they've done so far, they're going offense. This is going to be a heavy drafted offensive draft. That's what I think. They're not going to ignore offense like they did in free agency. I mean, in free agency, they only really added one person. One person. You cannot tell me that this team does not need to get faster, that they do not need more depth pieces, especially on the offensive line, especially at left guard. But really, the only new guy that they've brought in so far on offense is Deshaun Jackson. So when you look at it, you got to say, they're going to go heavy offense in this draft, and I think that's what's coming. So I expect first 3 picks to be wide receiver, running back, offensive line, in that order, some sort of combination. Now, I got to say, if Montez Sweat drops in the draft, because people have said that he may drop now because there was some minor heart condition or something. If he drops, you got to take him. You got to take him. You got to take the best talent on the board in the first round for sure. But I still think that no matter how it ends up, when we come out of this draft, it's going to be a heavy offensive draft. And I'm all for it. I like it. And I think that's the right move. So, I feel a little bit better now looking at the roster and kind of understanding what I think they're doing now. The offense will be addressed, and it will be addressed in the draft. And the reason is because you want those young guys to play with Carson for multiple years. You don't want to have to bring a guy in for a year or two and then go. Another guy in a year or two and go. You want to bring guys that will create stability around Carson Wentz. So let me know what you think. I'm curious, but I do think this is going to be a heavy offensive draft. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.